G'day, John Canning here. Today I thought I'd give you a look at my new iKAMPER mini rooftop tent. Now this is one of those hard shell fold out rooftop tents, and it's not a cheap one. This thing is basically $5,500 worth. Now my first outing with this was on Fraser Island last week, and I did attempt to take some video of me opening it and folding it up on Fraser Island as a first attempt. So I'm going to include some of that video in this review. As is always the case with me, this is just a straight down to earth report on what I've got here. I paid the $5,500 for it after waiting probably 6 months to get it. And I have no association with anybody to do with iKAMPER or anything else. I'm at the beautiful Fraser Island. I'll just give you a quick look before we start. This is Fraser Island, Queensland, where, as you can see, we're able to drive along the beach here. Just magnificent. So you're getting a genuine idea of what I think of this iKAMPER Mini. Now, a couple of things about the Mini is, the reason I went for the Mini is because it's really quite small, and it's light, and they even show you pictures of these things mounted on the top of mini miners and little small cars and all of that sort of thing, and I like the idea of that being small. At the moment I've got it mounted on my AOR off-road camper, and yeah, it's okay, but the problem I've got, which I'll show you shortly, is that it's very high up in the air, and these things are not as simple as they show in the promotional videos to open and shut. So while I like it being up there because it's a complete unit with my camper van, maybe I'll put it on top of the Ford Ranger, which is a lot lower, and you'll see that in the video, how I struggle a bit with it being up so high. Now, as I said, it's lightweight. It's about, what is it, it's 140 millimeters long or wide, and 146 millimeters deep, so it's, you know, basically about 4 foot square, so it's not very well, a bit more than 4 foot. It's 33 centimeters high, and it's got a double shell sort of polycarbonate hard lid on the top of it. It's not flat, it's shaped, which I'll show you shortly, so I guess that makes it more aerodynamic. But if you're thinking of putting a solar panel on this one, no, you're not going to be able to do that. Now when you open it up, inside it's 1260 wide, so and 2100 long, so it's a bit longer than a double normal double mattress, but a little bit narrower, because a normal size double bed mattress is about what have I got here, 1380, so it's about 4 inches narrower. But look, yeah, my opinion is you can sleep comfortably 2 people in there, and you are camping. It's got a 2-inch mattress, which they claim is just like sleeping at home, and I can tell you right now it's not like sleeping at home at all. In fact, it's not adequate for me, but we'll see that also. So let's get into this and have a look. Okay, so here it is sitting on top of my camper van. Now it does come, it's got 2 longitudinal rails on it, and it comes with a set of clamps basically that will go on a normal pair of roof bars. But in my case, I've got it on this 2-inch by 2-inch or 50mm by 50mm steel rails that are a bit heavier than that. So they do have another set of brackets that you can purchase for about $90, which is of course a rip-off, which fit onto this, and I'll just show you how it fits underneath here. If we can have a little look under here. So we can see there, we've got these rails that run from one end to another. There's 2 of those. And then we've got these brackets here that I've just simply bolted around, and they slide into these tracks here. So a simple mounting system, there's no doubt about that. So there she sits well and truly high up in the air on my camper. And the first thing that I kind of don't like is the fact that I've got to get my keys out here and unlock the top. So let's go there. Okay, now I've found these clips a little awkward. Firstly, got to have a key, got to go in, and you've got to unlock it again to pull the key out to go across to the second one. The other thing that's pretty awkward about these is that you've got to hook it underneath. This hooks on a latch underneath. Now I noticed that they've just released an updated version of this, which is in reverse, and this hooks on the top, which could be a bit easier, but I'm not sure how it locks underneath there. It's an awkward system, I've got to say, and really locking up this, you can't put anything in it anyway. So I've undone the latches, and you might be hearing the ocean in the background from the wonderful beach here at Fraser Island, but I've undone these latches as I've shown you, and the next step is to flick her up. It's supposed to be really easy. So far so good. So now we've got a few straps here. Strap over the top and the ladder. So because I'm so high here, I've had to carry a ladder with me to get up here. But this may not be the case if this rooftop tent's on the top of your car. So the idea is to pull up the ladder, put a cover on the end here, which they say is very important to put back on to protect the clear plastic. So we'll pop that there. So the idea is the ladder comes out. That come down and out. Some of you have seen my previous videos. They have seen me complaining about the ladder that came with my tent, which looked very similar to this. But it may have looked similar, but this is one that comes with the iKAMPER tent. Now the iKampers are made in South Korea and imported here. It's a totally different kettle of fish from the Chinese standard ones. The steps are on an angle, so they're comfortable to climb up, and they lock in perfectly well. Okay, so up we go. First thing we find inside is a set of poles. So there's 6 poles here, and obviously 2 go in the front. So these are for the fly, I assume. Bit of an angle there, so the fly goes in there and hooks on that one. Okay, so I've got the fly. Now this is the first time I've opened this tent, so I'm learning as I'm going, but so far pretty simple. Drop the top up, drop the ladder down, hook these on. We've got a couple of doors here. So we've got the canvas door, and underneath that I've got the fly screen. So I've got 4 more poles here, which will be used for the side windows. Okay, so this is the entry to the tent, the top of the ladder, which I'm standing. I feel quite secure up here. This is the bag with the holes in them and the flaps. Now, we take a look inside. We've got the 2 mattresses. Now my first thought on these mattresses is that they look a little skinny, but let's see how we go. We've got to pull the top part back, so I'll lean forward. Actually have to climb in to grab hold of that. And that fits down there like so. So it's fairly roomy in here. It's about the highest point, about 1200 or 120 centimetres. So enough to sort of sit up, kneel up, that sort of thing, but certainly no standing room. So we've opened up the windows on each side. There's a good breeze coming through, and I've opened up the front, and wow, I'm looking out there at the beach. That's pretty cool. Now, what I also have above me here is a skylight, which I can open up and wind back and look at the stars at night. Well, it's a bit of cloud cover at the moment, and I must say the canvas is really good at keeping the light out. So if I zipped up canvas flaps, it would be very, very dark in here, which is great if you want to sleep through the morning. But I think I'll be leaving them open. I mean, who wouldn't want to be looking out at that view in the morning? So my first impressions inside, quality's good. The zips look good. There's little pockets here, a couple more pockets up here. Oh, what's the other one there? Everything seems really well constructed. So these additional springs that I've got here are for these external windows here, so I can do this from inside or outside. Let's see how we go. So these are easy enough to put on, I think. If I feel under there without falling out the window, not that I will in this case, but you could. There is a bracket there. Pop that in like so. Pop one in the other side. Like so. Pretty easy to do from inside. And I've got a little awning over the window in case it rains. So zipping up the fire screen. All pretty good. Time to fold up. It's morning time. Let's have a look and see how easy this is. First thing, the front section of mattress has got to be taken out and pushed to the back. So far so good. Now, this bag is supposed to go on over here to make sure we protect the clear plastic skylight. So a little bit of fiddling around here on this. Okay. Now. Push this up. Because of my height of this van, which probably wouldn't be the case if it was on the car, I've got to use my spare set of steps. This is where it can get tricky, I guess. The ladder's in. Not as simple as it looks, but nevertheless it's in. Now in theory I should just have to pull all these three cords and everything should fold up magically. But I've got a feeling it's not going to happen. So we've got it down, it's sitting down there. Obviously I've got tent hanging out both sides, so I'm going to have to climb up on the roof and tuck them in. One thing I mustn't forget, which is the problem. I need to get the keys. So when I latch this, which is the inconvenient bit, I've got to go and get the keys out of the car where I've got the keys to this to make sure I can relatch it. So some tucking in to do here. I'm ready to go up and latch it now. The moral of that story is, if you watch the videos and they just pull 3 ropes and then clip it up, it's not happening that way. It's a bit more. If this was on top of the car and I had 2 people, it would be a pretty simple process, I've got to say. But because I'm up high and I'm deliberately doing this as a one-man show, it's a little bit more difficult, but not impossible. I got someone to give me a hand then, so I got back up on the roof, put a bit of pressure on the top of the tent, and it latched up easily. So the lesson out of this from me, 2 people, you'd fold it up really simply. Trying to do it by yourself, you can do it, but it's kind of fiddly. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed that video on the iKAMPER rooftop tent. It was a genuine first experience of mine with the rooftop tent at Fraser Island, and hope you also enjoyed getting a few glimpses of Fraser Island. A great place to go if you're 4-wheel driving and looking for some beach camping, but 2 recommendations. Try and keep away from the really busy time like school holidays and even weekends, and take plenty of insect repellent because the march flies were mighty there. Anyway, I had a lot of fun there. With this rooftop tent, what I have found is I have got better at closing it. Like anything else, with a bit of practice you get better. Secondly, the mattress was not adequate for me. I used a single inflatable mattress on top of the existing mattress, which made it comfortable to sleep on. But other than that, I really enjoyed being up there and sleeping in it. So I guess for $5,500, yeah, well, they're all kind of expensive, but it does the job, and we'll have a 10-year-old sleeping up there, and I'm sure she'll love it. So I hope you, as I said, I hope you enjoyed it, and please subscribe to my videos and I can make some more for you, and I'll talk to you again soon.